Hey,
Hi guys.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello everyone.
Hi.
How are you doing wherever you are in the world? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Priscilla Gasha, and I am coming to you live from South Australia. Don't mind my little one; she's just woken up. She was dead asleep. We're coming to you live from South Australia, guys. Today we are going to be discussing the topic of why did we start our digital business? Why in the world did we start a digital business? My name is Priscilla Ngasha. I am coming to you from South Australia, and with us today we are back with the usual crowd of business mompreneurs, and we have someone from the UK and we have someone in Canberra, and we're going to introduce ourselves, and then we're going to talk about why we started our digital businesses. Forgive us, we this our digital business, we do it at home, so there's a lot of background noise and people behind us as we talk about our digital business. All right, Shiro, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. Habari zenyu, murega nyote. I hope you're doing well. My name is Shiro. As Priscilla said, please don't mind us. We have our little small people with us here today. They have refused to sleep. But I'm coming live from Canberra. I'm from Kenya, originally from Kenya. I'm a mom to three girls, and I'm a wife, and I'm a preneur. And I'm happy to be here again and to be talking about this great topic of our biggest whys did we decide to come to this journey. Thanks, Priscilla.
Thank you. Betty, if you'd like to introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, thank you and good morning from us. Hi, happy Saturday, everyone. My name is Betty, originally from Kenya, living in the UK, and I'm a mom of two girls and a wife, and I'm also a a happy and successful online business owner, and I'm also a coach. Thank you.
All right. Sorry, guys. Someone has just woken up and they're really cranky. All right. Now, here you go. All right. Now, here we are. Just thank you everyone for your introductions. We're discussing why we started our digital business. That's our topic of the day. And if you're out there and you're thinking about starting a digital business and you're wondering where can you start from, what can you do? Today is the day where you grab your cup of coffee and you come sit here with us so you can listen to how we started and where our stories came from. Betty, if I could ask you to go first for a little bit, talk about yourself and why you started your digital business. Um, because you've been in the business for the longest person.
Oh yeah, thank you, Priscilla. And I've been looking forward to this topic since last weekend, but then things
Yes.
happen and now we are doing it. We are doing it this weekend. And for me, I always this because of where I am today in the business, I always go back to my life in the past, or rather my life and my everyday hustle before I saw this business. I started this business in April of 2019. So I'm going to my 6 years come next year. And the reason why I started this business is because I wanted to finally start working smarter. Let me first of all say that, because you can work smart and you can work hard. You might both get the same amounts of payments, but there is someone who finished their work within 10 minutes, and there is somebody who put in the hustle for a whole 9, 10 hours, right? So for me, I wanted to gain back my time. And that is where now working smarter comes in. All the things that I have always wanted. Also, working smarter allows you to make more money than when you're working harder, because
Yep.
we know people who go to work from 9 to 5, some people go on night shift, but then the amount of money they are bringing home, honestly, comparing the amount of time they have spent to make that money, you know, it's just I'm sorry, but I will say it. You feel like you're enslaved in that system. And yesterday I was
Yep.
talking to one of our business partners, and I was telling her it is very, very easy for our mind to settle down and to be comfortable in being paid at the end of the month, or rather knowing, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm getting paid at the end of the month. So you will find that you're even working way too much more than the money that they pay you. You're working way too much more hours. You're spending too many hours or too much time going over to work or coming back home. All those hours you're counting. You're away from your family. You cannot manage your time. You cannot be able to be the one to make decisions when it comes to time, because most of the time you have to be in work. And I was telling that lady that many are times where we find a safe haven, like it's like a safe haven, because but anyway, nitalipwa at the end of the month.
Yeah.
I'll
Mhm.
with that $2,000 or that £2,000. But
Comfort zone.
I it is a comfort zone, and for me, I really wanted to get out of that, because I wanted to get out of a feeling like ninaomba mtu ruhusa ya kwenda holiday. Like even when I want to do that, even when I have my off days, I still cannot be able to do those things, because, as I say, the money is not enough. Yeah. So I finally wanted to start enjoying that freedom for myself. I also wanted to at least to transform the lives of others, because in our business, it is the business that you can be able to help others. It doesn't have to be somebody you're related to. As long as it is
Mm.
somebody who is coming in with same mindset as you, I wanted to be in that kind of a situation, because I know, especially as who are living in this part of the world, we have so many. There are so many times where we feel like we are lost in the system, and all we can do is work, work, work. And that's why you see somebody, by the day they are bankers or doctors, at night huyo mtu naenda unapata yeye ndiye anaosha ofisi, yeye ndiye
Mm.
anaenda kufanya care, because we are lost in that system. But for me, I wanted to take back that time. I wanted to be at least finally be able to, I'm turning around, I can see my daughter is here, because there were times I used to be even delivery driver. Saturday inafika ndio hiyo mimi nimeenda na gari kufanya deliveries. By the time nafika jioni nimechoka. All I want to do is sleep. There was a time I used to work, nini shifts zangu zilikuwa zinaangukia weekend. Ndio at least nijaribu kukatakata pesa ya kulipa childcare. You
Yep.
see? So now I'm looking back and I'm remembering all those things, and I can testify and say I have seen the change, and I know there are so many people out there who are in the same situation I was in. So for me, it was all about starting to work smart, make the money work for me. Because so many at times we say, oh, naenda shift. But then even when you make when you make that money has never done anything for you, because it is money that what we call from hand to mouth, hand to mouth. Unalipa
Mm.
bills, you do things, pesa imeisha. And then you start the cycle all over again. I wanted to walk away from that cycle. I wanted to walk away from those sleepless nights thinking, "Kai, sasa, or even not being able like to do something for myself and enjoying with my family." So for me, that was the biggest part. And there are so many other things. And obviously, we all have desires. I've always wanted to go on holidays. And now I'm glad to say that at least I go on holiday every year. Every year, we just came back from Cyprus. So these are things that you could never be able to do if you're doing them with a salary. Unless uchukue credit card utumie, alafu anza kuilipa. But for me, when I'm looking at the situations I was in back in the day and now, I understand there are so many people who are in the same situation. I know that we have something that could change, that could turn back life for you, because we have done it and we have seen the results.
That's true. And I mean, as you said, I like your analogy. Like you said, working smarter and not harder. You put
Yeah.
somebody who is working harder and somebody else working smarter, and they're probably working kind of the same job. One is has to go to the 9 to 5, the other one has to do it online. So the one who is
Yeah.
working smarter and the one working harder, they're probably going to earn the same amount of money. But then you look at the energy you've used. This one working
Yeah.
smarter probably only worked for 2 3 hours, but the person working harder had to go in,
Yeah.
you go to traffic, you get upset because people are so, being bad drivers,
Yeah.
things like
Haujawahi
that.
sikia, have you never heard people saying ati, hey, ucio nake ndonekaga, atũraga
I
wĩra.
know.
Yeah,
Mm,
you know, unasikianga that house there, kuna mwenye ile nyumba, ule baba ya mwenye ile familia tutimuonaga,
I know.
tuonaga ngari yacomoka na hwainĩ thaa inya ĩgacoka, because that person na no, and when you look at that family ukona atĩ wameishi poa, they have good life, they have, you know, they have good things, but then again it is all in exchange of someone else's time, especially time
Mm,
and energy. So, you know, if there is a way I could be able to make that money and even much more, because we have seen people making their a whole year salary within 1 or 2 days, I will do that. Honestly, I will not go looking for, I don't know, to do 10, 15 hour shifts, or working, I don't know, 72 hours shifts in a week, just because I want to, just because I want to make, I don't know how much money, while I know that I can come and put in some work in my business, and before I know it, I will start making that kind of money within days. So yeah, it's all about, for me it was all about driving me into working smarter
Yeah.
rather than harder. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that's fantastic. And again, at the end of the day, as you said, it's about what you prioritize, you know,
Yeah.
and also it's about faith over fear.
Yeah.
It's about faith over fear as well.
Mm.
You know, I wasn't here when you guys were busy discussing. My little one had just woken up. That's why I'm even on this sofa, because today was such a hard day at home. She was not sleeping. It's Saturday. She's saying we're not going anywhere, refused to sleep. And now she's sleeping at the end of the day and then deciding to wake up right before we go live. Anyway,
No, it's
but
fine.
now she's settled. I think they're just called coco felons. Coco felons. So
It's
I've
fine.
just
You
some
know,
coco
that's
and
what we are talking about here. You know, we wanted something that could give us this. You know, imagine right
flexibility.
now, you maybe that child would be waking up and crying. She
And
doesn't
once,
know where her mommy is, because mommy is not home. She's working extra shifts. But here you are,
and
you're working.
mm,
Yes, you're excusing yourself to go and check on her, but you are working. You know, you are at home doing that. You know, being a mom, being an
mm,
entrepreneur at the same time and making money. I mean, who wouldn't want that?
and that is the reality, by the way, I was facing. That is
Mm,
the reality I was facing before I started my digital business. And I was also staring down that reality in December when a friend of mine in Adelaide was advising, you know what? I know you're a school teacher, but summer holidays, why don't you learn SAT 3? Over here, certificate 3, Betty, is
mm,
this disability work or aged care work? And
mm.
honestly, I looked into it. Like I honestly looked into it and I was like, you know what? Let me look at this SAT 3. And I actually registered myself for, there's like universal college over here called TAFE, where you can do TAFE classes. I was like, all right, maybe I can do TAFE classes. And I was like, they're not online. How am I going to be able to be going? And I have little kids. And then I found one that I can do on. Anyway, it was a whole process.
mm.
But the reality of it was, even as a school teacher, I knew maybe I could pick up extra shifts Saturday, like today,
Yeah.
or Sunday, or public holidays, or summer holidays. And those were realities of like teach during the week, do disability care weekend. And then when you ask people, because I would ask moms,
Mm,
distinctly remember we are at a swimming pool, and I was asking some moms who do this job of disability, now, how is it? How is it working with these people? And the truth of it is when they tell you how some of these people will treat, how some of these aged people will that you're taking care of will treat you, the person taking care of them. I was like, dear Lord, please show me another way.
Show me the light.
yeah.
Show me
Yeah.
another way to make to earn money that will not involve me, you know, putting myself out there to be done for some of these things.
Mm,
And I don't want to brush off some of the things they say. I was like, I know I will struggle if someone is telling me some of those words, I know I'm going to struggle personally. So I was there asking, and you don't struggle. Gosh, I'm so sorry when they say that. They're like, what do? You need that income. I was like, hey, Jesus, just maybe let me find another avenue that
Mm.
does not involve having,
Mm.
not because it's a bad job or anything, but also I'm thinking of myself and my mental health at the end of the
Yeah.
day. If I keep exposing myself to that 24/7 and staying away from my children, there was so much to weigh in. And I
Mm.
didn't, for me, it was not the best fit to be away during public holidays, the summer holidays, and they're little and they're growing. So it did become another reason why, for me, I leaned into, you know what, digital business. So thanks, Shiro, for sharing. Not Shiro, thank you, Betty, for
Let's
sharing. Yeah, your reasons for starting a digital business. Shiro, do you think you want to go ahead and share, or are you happy for me to share mine before this little girl decides to
No, you
switch
can
gear?
go on Fawn before she switches gear. It's fine.
That's
Mine, I
cool.
have
That's
given the gears away to the father.
yes, you're lucky. All right, now anyone who's watching on my page, my Penny and Co, that is where I conduct my business. I train people and I mentor, and I also will post some motivational items for you and some learning posts. I started my digital business journey 2 years now. It's literally 2 years now. And I've just been celebrating the past 2 months how I am now at a point where in my digital business, I am now able to start earning four figures. I was so excited when I started looking at the numbers, you know. I was looking at our compensation plan and the numbers, and I'm like, oh my goodness, look at where I am. If you had told me 2 years ago, I could see and I knew this business does this. But to put your mind into gear that it will actually happen for me was work. And I worked on it last year. To see it in action, I have just been so grateful this year.
Mm.
And Friday was one of those days. I think I love Fridays and Tuesdays because I've been noticing a trend that on Fridays and Tuesdays, my digital business is paying out.
Yeah.
And for me, Tuesdays is a day when I'm at home with my kids. So I feel like I'm literally being paid to take care of them. So I'm extra happy on Tuesday doing dishes, taking people to childcare. Not childcare, what is it?
Play
To
groups.
play group.
Play
I go to
groups.
play Tuesday. We have a coffee with some moms. You're extra happy and you're pushing that swing very happily with your little kid. And I pick up the other one, very jovial, because for the past few Tuesdays, my business has been paying me. And I feel, oh my God, this is what I set out to do. And it is now becoming a reality. Fridays, let me tell you about Fridays. Fridays, I am in a class of 27 loud children. And sometimes on a Friday, just before we go out for a brain break, sometimes my phone will go bing and I will see a blessing. Who told you that didn't happen last week, Friday? Where they're lining out, I'm telling kids to put their hats on because the sun in Australia is no joke. And they're right there lining up, and then my phone goes ding, and I look at it and I'm like, oh wow, wow. You're extra happy with these 27 children. You're like, God bless you, kids. You know, you don't even, you're there working, you're getting paid to work, but your digital business is also there blessing you. I mean,
Yeah.
anyway, that's besides the point, because now I'm getting ahead of myself. But 2 years ago, me when I was starting this business, I was not a happy person. I tell them I was angry, you guys. I was an angry, frustrated woman because I was wondering what do people do in this Maju life. I
Okay.
live in a small town. I didn't have I like a community of Africans around me to ask. ni nini watu wanafanyanga huku, mnafanyanga nini
Yeah.
huku majuu mpate pesa, ni nini hizi extra. I didn't have friends yet, and I had a little baby. My baby was 4 5 months, and she had she'd had those homas where you
Yeah.
get bad flu, and then she had a bronchial infection, and I was almost about to now start. I was thinking about, now I have to go back to work, and I'm thinking, she's so little. I have not secured childcare yet. Although I'd registered her when I was 1 month pregnant, I'd registered her. And here we are, there was still no spot available. Even at 6 months, they were telling me, no,
God.
we wouldn't still have space. So I'm looking around at these women around me. And I would literally sometimes ask them when we'd walk to pick up kids, and, some moms who are neighbors, what do you do for work? Or I just, you just, they just, unafinya tu muchipi, and you just, obviously you rely on one partner, and you just never buy interesting things like bras. You just hang around like that because there's no cash to do some things. It's like, no. This cannot be it. This is not it. So I was really frustrated in that sense. But then I remembered I used to see so many people talk about affiliate marketing, digital marketing, just stuff like that. It was in my head. I was trying to read books about how to start businesses, do businesses. And then I saw, now my mentors ad, and she was talking about a digital business that she started. It was giving her flexibility. She was able to do it from home. She's a registered nurse. So I'm like, all right, if a nurse is actually talking about quitting a nursing job, and anyone who's done a profession, they've gone to school for 4 5 years. So you've invested money in your education, so you're not going to just abandon a whole career. And she's like,
Yeah.
I'm a registered nurse, but I've stopped my nursing jobs because this is giving me more than my job would, and I'm able to stay at home. I was like, Bas, this is it. And I didn't know what it was, but I watched a webinar, a training webinar. And I remember I watched it a couple of times, and I didn't have times. As I said, I had what? She was 4 5, my youngest, and my other one was 5 years old. So I had little kids who need my attention. So I didn't have time to sit and watch a 90-minute webinar. I did not. But I would watch it or with my headphones in when I was taking my daughter to sleep. I'd put her in a pram, set my phone inside the pram, and listen. And that's how I watch it. I would just listen to what they were saying, take screenshots, and ask my mentor questions about what I was watching. And that's how I honestly started. And when I realized, oh my goodness, the value that I was going to be receiving, and then I saw the compensation itself, I was like, this is it. I think this is what I'm going to try. And that's what I did. I just ventured in. I talked to my partner, and I was like, look, I need to do this for myself, for your own
Yeah.
health as well. And for it is going to benefit the family. Let's give it 1 year and see how we go. And I was so prepared. I thought maybe he would say, I know, I don't think we can do that. I don't know what it is. You don't know what it is. How are you now saying you'll do? He didn't say any of that. So I'm really lucky. He just said, if you feel like you want to do this and you're ready, you go ahead. I trust you. I was like, thank God he said that. Because then I was trying to think of, what if he'd said no? I knew I would still do it. That's the tragedy. But
That's
it's not even at home at the moment. But I knew after aseme nisifanye, I would still have.
utafanya.
You'd never have known
That
what I
is
was
me.
doing on the laptop anyway. We're always on our laptop. It could have been schoolwork for all he knows, or on my
Yeah.
phone. And we're all on our phones. And then later on, I would have been able to explain to him. I just had a strategy for every scenario, but I didn't have to use different scenarios. He was happy, I was happy, and I just ventured in, and I tried to include him. I'm like, all right, now I'm doing ABCD, I'm doing 2 3 4. And nowadays he's like, oh, aren't you going to do your live with the ladies on Saturday? I can watch the kids when he's home. Or,
Uh-huh.
oh, are you shooting an ad? Here, I'll hold the camera. I'm like, no, you have to stand like this in the middle. He's happy to take directions to do that because he can see that it has value. It is bringing monetary value to the family, and I'm happy. So the long and short of it is I started a digital business because, one, I wanted a way out of this diaspora struggle. I wanted a way out of this diaspora struggle that did not include burning myself out and having no time with my kids. And that frustration is what led me to really research this program because there are so many out there. And when I saw it, I was like, bang, 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 just started, took, and just moved on. So I'm really happy I started. And if you're watching this later on, you can go back again. If you've missed it, I've talked about how now my digital business is blessing me to a point where I feel like I am now being paid to stay at home on some days. I'm still part-time, but I'm really happy that I took action and I'm able to help other people to do the same. Thank you so much, ladies. Maybe Shiro
I love
can.
that. I love that the way you said Tuesdays and Fridays. But you know what? You know what? I've realized somebody actually said when people get something that you find your niche, you actually glow, you change, and
Yeah.
people
Yes.
ask you, "What's happened?
Yeah.
Mhm.
What's happened?" So for you, your Tuesdays and Fridays, you even start your week well because you know your Tuesday and Friday will be such a
Yes.
nice payday.
Yes, yes. I work Mondays and Tuesdays is woohoo. And I even receive that. I receive people from Kenya who are like, hey, naona Priscilla siku hizi umekaa vizuri. Ebu niambie hii digital business,
Yeah.
because they can see that,
I
someone
can
with
see the
different someone.
change.
Yes,
Mm.
yes.
I can see the
Yeah.
change. That's true, which is true anyway.
Mm.
For me, well, why did I start this digital business? Because I realized when I came to Australia, when I migrated to Australia, I realized I wanted to become a wife of leisure, and that was not something that could happen after my
Yeah.
job. I wanted to become a wife of leisure after working for so many years back home. I had a very nice job that I left, which was
Yes.
making me really sad. But then when you come here, if you do not have work rights, there is no way
Yes.
you're going to get a job fast.
Yeah,
So my
that's true.
husband used to wake up and Aniacha, we sleep. I mean, we had just moved to Canberra. We were both new actually to Canberra, even if he's Australian. We were both new to Canberra. And so he used to go to work, he leaves me. But somebody who has been used to working, you feel like kuna kitu in a miss. You feel like you're
Yeah.
doing something wrong. Like,
Mm.
why am I in bed? Why am I doing this? And
Yeah.
then I told myself, Bashiro, you said you wanted to become a wife of leisure. Why are you feeling guilty? So I decided to let me give myself 2-3 months because I've left my family back home in Kenya. I've left my friends. I am starting a new life here. So I told myself, let me give myself 2-3 months and then I will see how I get. Well, 2-3 months, yes, I was happy to be sleeping. But then how much TV can you watch? So much.
Yeah.
And Australian TV, I'm sorry to say, it is full of reality TV. I am not
Yeah.
reality programs. I am not that kind of person who likes reality programs. So I got to a point I told my husband, I don't think I can get here. And then we had actually come in where I had work rights now. I told him,
Uh-huh.
no, I can't stay like this. So I started applying for jobs because here it's very easy when you can apply for a job online and they're all online and you can reach out to people. But the problem is these people are not responding to me. So I took an initiative to go and give my CVs and meet people face to face so that you can be able to meet you. And so that is what I did. And so I started working. But then I decided to have babies. And when I decided to have babies, when I had my first baby, I had her in Kenya. So there was so much help around having that baby because
Yeah.
you've got all your family, you've got your friends, you've got your neighbors. There's so much support system. Now, here, Upper Maju, your only house help, your only helper is your vacuum cleaner, your washing machine, and your dishwasher. Those are your
Yeah.
only helpers. So the thing is, when I had my second baby, realized that we were looking at childcare. And I realized this other one, I had taken care of her myself. I had so much support. The second one, I have to take her to childcare. And you hear people saying, oh, I took mine at 3 months. I took mine at 4 months. No, 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 no. I was looking at this helpless baby and wondering, how am I going to give this baby to somebody who does not know this child, who does not know what they need? And I'm here, I'm the mother. Now, that is where I got to get into the digital business. Now, to start on that digital business, I had been told about it 4 years ago by this friend of mine here, Betty, who is here with us on live. But Shiro wanted to become a wife of leisure, so she ignored it. Now, that is when I became baptism by fire. I went back to Betty and said, hey, Betty, ebu niambie that digital business you are telling me about. Please, let's get there. She told me, because I remember, and I still have her message. I wrote back to her and said, thanks, Betty, and thanks so much. Right now, I don't think I am ready for this.
I look into it.
4 years later.
4 years fast forward. Betty, tell me about that business you are telling me. I have a child now, and they're saying that we have to take her to childcare. Akini, I can't manage that. So that is how I got to Betty send me her website. I watched the 90-minute webinar. Hata siku ngoja, I did not hesitate. I told my husband, you know what? I am starting a business. And I did not ask for permission. I was just letting him know.
Yes.
Because as Priscilla said, even if he said no, I was just going to do it. Because I needed something that was for myself. And because as mothers, especially as mothers, I know even fathers there, but most of us mothers, we understand. We understand what we go through, that you yourself are the one who is left with this big responsibility and guilt of taking these children to childcare. Because you know how it feels. So fast forward 4 years down the line, I told Betty after 4 years, I need the link. I watched the 90-minute webinar. Hata siku ngoja, got in, did my coaching call, and I started the business. Now, why did I start this business? Because I needed to be able to be there for these kids. I didn't want to be at Nandikiwa kwa diary, because we get even these reports online. Or Naema was doing this. Today she said her first word, mama, or she probably said a child's name because that would have been her first word. And then she took her first steps. No, I was not going to have that. I wanted to be there for that child. Now, I have just done 2 years in this business, and I had my third baby, so I was not worried. I'm actually, next month, I'm going to be 1 year since I took maternity leave. 1 year on maternity leave. Most of this maternity leave is unpaid. But why am I not worried? On Friday, I went to where I work, my 9-to-5 job. I haven't been there for a year. And everyone was like, Shiro, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? I said, guys, can't you see my face? How glowing I am? Not having to wake up in the morning to an alarm clock. So let's leave it at that. I will come back when I am ready. Right now, I am enjoying my maternity leave. Right now, I am happy with my kids. I am happy that I'm taking care of them. So it's going to be 12 months since I took maternity leave come next month. And that is the reason, is because I wanted to be able to see these girls grow. I wanted to be able to have time for myself, because I tell you what, when you migrate to a new place, it is so hard, because when you don't know people, and then you have to start building your life again. You're starting from scratch. You're like a new baby. You're starting to start from scratch. Secondly, I was so used to earning in my job back home in Kenya. I needed something for me, because as we all know, let's say it as it is, you always need something for you. I didn't want to be always telling my husband, for him to keep sending me money, or to tell him, keep asking. Because sometimes you reach a point you feel like you're a bother. Let's just put it out there. You feel like you're a bother.
Yeah.
So I wanted something for me. I also wanted to grow myself. And as Priscilla said, I had also looked at that certificate 3. Because let me tell you, those jobs here pay a lot. But then what they take away from you is your time and your energy.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't want to be able to miss all these kids, and it's milestone of my kids. And then I hear things happened and I didn't know about them. And then the kids grow, they don't know you, you don't know them, which is it's very unfair and not very good. So I started it because I needed the flexibility. I needed the extra income for our family. And I needed it because I needed to be on this 1 year leave. Otherwise, I would have probably gone back to work when the third born was probably 3 or 4 months, because after your 4 months or 5 months, however, it's 5 months when you get that paid leave, it's over, and then you're on paid leave. But then, as Priscilla was saying, for us, when I get those messages, I wake up in the morning and you get a message, hello, there's a remittance coming. You didn't even expect
Oh
it.
yeah.
And that remittance come that I probably worked 2-3 hours in a day, each day. Because it's your business, you still have to show up for it.
Mm.
So for me, I can say being a mother is not easy, especially when you have 2-year-olds, two children under two. But I can say I have liked being a wife of leisure for the last 3 years, thanks to this digital business, because I've been able to do that. But then to be able to do that, I had to let go of that fear. I had to accept that I needed something. And that is why I reached out back to Betty and told her, please tell me about that. Because I could see Betty was doing okay. She was fine. She was happy in the UK. And, I kept on, when you look at people's Facebook posts, you can see what they're doing,
Yeah.
especially when you follow them. And Betty and I have been very, long time friends since high school. So you can see what they're doing. And so I needed that. And I've been able to, we keep talking about having to travel. I've been able to be going on holidays with my family, which is very important, because this world is too big. We need to see
Yeah.
it. We need to make those memories. We need to be there for our families, but we also need to treat ourselves. Not every time my husband is telling me, oh, let's go to dinner. No, it's one day I tell him, hey, my dear, I'm treating you to dinner. You find a babysitter
Oh
and
yeah.
out you go. And
Off
when the
you
bill
go.
comes, you say, no, 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 I'm paying. I'm paying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Just like, and you know how with school holidays here, and we're planning a trip, and we were looking at a place to stay. And I was like, you know what? He's like, oh, this is our budget. And I'm like, no, 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 I got you. I got you. This digital
Of
business,
course.
because we get a bit of blessing on the other side, let's
Yeah.
up the budget and stay a few more days,
Absolutely. Hmm.
I
and stay
know.
in another nicer place. And I was like, no, 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 I can up the budget a little bit also myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh
And
my
we are
God. It
not here
is.
to tell you that we are making so much. It's because of hard work. We have
Yeah.
Yeah.
realized that we need this. We have
Yeah.
realized that we need this for ourselves, for our own mental health. Because a lot of us, we do things because we are like, oh, what are people going to think about me? What are people going to say about me? So we limit ourselves. We don't go out there and push ourselves. So for us to be here, to be able to be this happy, to be able to tell you this, it's because we took that step. We took, as Betty always says, fear of faith over fear.
Mm.
Don't let that fear hold you back. You just never know what you can achieve if you put yourself out there. And why not? If other people,
Yeah.
people like Bill Gates, Richard Branson, are living that life, who said you don't deserve that life? You deserve
Absolutely.
that and more. Do something
Yeah.
for yourself. Do something that will make you happy. And don't limit yourself. Oh, I don't have the money. Oh, I can't
Mm.
do online. I don't have the skills. Have you come to us and asked us if that is something, a skill that you can be given?
Mhm.
Ask questions. Explore. Do not start.
Oh,
Usijipe vikwazo hata kabla hujaanza.
true.
Don't limit yourself even before you've had the information, before you've even asked people, before you've looked
Mm.
around, because you just are limiting yourself, which is not fair to you, to your family, and to the sake of your mental health, which is such a
Yeah.
big thing nowadays.
Mm.
So my biggest why was my children, my family, and myself. And so yeah, I've been able for the last 3 years to enjoy being a wife of leisure.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Our audience, I hope you've learned something about us that maybe you did not know. If you've started following us and you're watching this, now you go back again and you can learn a little bit about our stories. Why did we decide to start a digital business? And also now reflect on your own self. What is driving you to want to start a digital business? If our stories have any similarities, reach out. As digital mentors and a coach, we're here to guide you through this process so you can also be able to achieve what we're achieving and keep going and keep building, because who does not want to be successful abroad? Who doesn't want to be able to meet all their needs there? And as we know, the needs of our people back home. Maybe, ladies, if I can ask our parting shots, Betty, if you'd like to give us a parting shot.
Uh, so for me, I always say that we say it in our language. When we haria kiratu kiraguturira. Yeah. And you're the one who knows how far situations and challenges and issues have pushed you. Only you know the pain of that squeeze. So take that, take the pain, take those challenges, take the anger that you have of whatever is making you feel like you're stuck in a situation. Take that, take advantage of it. Don't look at it and say and just sit there and do nothing. Take that as your, how we say when you want the stone to go further, you pull it backwards, then you release it. Take that as in that situation where you feel like this debt, this situation I am in, I'm stuck in 9 to 5, I never see my children. Look at it as that stone that has been catapulted, is it pulled back and it's about to be released. So use that at your own advantage. Make that change that you want an urgency. Yeah, make it as urgent as it can be. Make it realistic, but make it as urgent as it can be. I personally always say this unapologetically. You can never tell me you don't have a little bit of time for your business, or rather a little bit of time to do something for yourself. That's just me, but that's what I believe. Because if you can spend 9, 8, 10, 11, or however long you spend in working for somebody, very, very motivated, you're doing everything and more so that they can see you and promote you to get to add you, I don't know, 50 pounds more. Why can't you just use a fraction of that time to start working on something that in the future it will be an empire that will cover, that will make the future of your children even safe. So for me, I always say it's you who knows how big your dreams are. If they're not big enough for you to feel the urge of, that to have that feeling of urgency about them, then go back and dream again. Go back and dream again. Come in with that anger, that thirst, that feeling that you really need change and you need it right now. That is the only thing I can say.
That's true.
I am mute again. Thank you, Betty, for sharing. I'm not going to dilute your words. Shido, if you would like to share with us your parting shot.
Stop limiting yourself. Information is power. If you find something, all this, we make ads. Probably some of you have seen our ads out there. We make ads. Sometimes click on them and see what we are talking about, because you just never know. A word there can touch you, a word there can change your mind. And all those ads that you see there, if you see there is something that is talking to you, information is power. Go and find out information, ask questions, but do not limit yourself. Be the goat in your life, great of all times. And when, as Betty said, just go out there. Those people who tell you that you cannot do it, those people who do not believe in you, because let me tell you, those people that will never support you are those people who are close to you, those ones that you expect to support you. Now, those ones that tell you that you cannot do it, they give you those words, no, this is not right. Betty said, you're the one who knows your pain points. Do it for yourself and prove them wrong, because you deserve that and you owe that to yourself. So take action, and your future tomorrow will be grateful to you. And why not? Sometimes you will try something, it will fail. You'll try something, you will do great. How sure are you if you do not try it?
Wow. Thank you, ladies. Those have been such wonderful words. Those who have ears, let them hear. And hopefully, you don't sit on your ears. Other than that, let us say thank you so much for listening, for tuning in. And whether you watch this in the future, you can always reach us on whatever page you've watched it on. You can reach that person and talk to them and find out more about a digital business. Thank you for your time, everyone. Have a good evening, good morning, good day, good night, wherever you are. Thank you.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Cheers.